now because the same three things are all the same. That's the election results. We're going to do our best here. Makeshift studio, so bear with me. All right, bear with me. Let's just start with the obvious. The red wave never materialized. The red wave that we were told by every single poll and polling company that was coming all over this country didn't materialize. And so it brings into question a lot of things. Number one, are the polling companies worth anything anymore? Are the polling companies worth anything anymore? Was abortion that big of a driver for Democrats around this country? Maybe it was a lot bigger factor than we were led to believe. I happen to believe that groceries and gas and putting food on the table are the single most important things for Americans right now. Maybe I was wrong. I overestimated the surge of Republican voters and the rejection of socialism. Now, it did happen. The Republicans will take over the House. The question is, will the Democrats maintain control of the Senate? Right now, it looks like they very well might. John Fetterman won in Pennsylvania. That's the depth of the problem we have here. If the Democrats are willing to vote for somebody like John Fetterman, who's clearly not capable of the job, clearly not capable to do the job at hand, and vote for him anyhow just so they have the vote, that tells you something. But here's something you're just going to have to come to terms with early today. Here's something you have to come to terms with early today. It was a terrible night for Donald Trump. It was a terrible night. Kari Lake is behind and appears to have lost in that race for governor in Arizona as an example. You look at Dr. Oz in Pennsylvania. Looks like John Fetterman defeated him. These are some of the endorsed candidates from Donald Trump, and therein lies your problem. If the endorsed candidates of Donald Trump go down in flames all over the country, which it appears they did in many places, not everywhere. J.D. Vance won the Senate seat by a mile in Ohio. But here's part of the takeaway from last night as well, because Ron DeSantis won in a walkaway. Marco Rubio won his Senate seat again in a walkaway. Florida was a landslide. Ohio, not even close. Mike DeWine reelected the Republican governor of Ohio. Florida and Ohio, not swing states anymore. Florida and Ohio, not swing states anymore. But in what was supposed to be a close race for governor in New York, blowout. Kathy Hochul wins, not even close. Not even close. The Senate seat in Arizona, Mark Kelly, Blake Masters, supposed to be neck and neck. Not even close. Laxalt is winning in Nevada, so that would be a pickup for the Republicans. Fetterman won in Pennsylvania, that'd be a pickup for the Democrats. And where does that leave us once again? That leaves the control of the United States Senate in one state, Georgia. Warnock is ahead by a slight amount, but they did not reach the threshold for a runoff, which means that will take us, I believe, to December the 6th. And whoever wins in Georgia on December the 6th, either the Democrats will maintain a 50-50 split in the Senate, or the Republicans would get a one-seat majority, which would be incredibly important now. And think about how fragile things are. If Johnny Isakson, the senator from Georgia, had not gotten ill with cancer, we never would have had this conversation. Joe Biden would have had to have legislated in a moderate way. But here's the other big disappointment across the country. Several seats that the Republicans thought they could get in a variety of places, right, in the House of Representatives never materialized. Never. Abigail Spanberger. One big pickup in Virginia. I mean, there were pickups, but it's going to be about 15, it looks like. 15-seat pickup for the Republicans. Very much on the low end. They will have the majority, but not by much. So that red wave didn't materialize. So then you have to look at, okay, if this is what happens, if this is what happens when you have McConnell and McCarthy and Ronna McDaniel in charge, and you can't win in this environment, it's time to clean house. If you can't win races in this environment, it's time to clean house. Because Americans are angry. You talk to them every day, so do I. We know what the feeling is out there. There's not some love affair for Joe Biden. He's got horrible polling numbers. Historically speaking, at least 40 seats should have gone to the Republicans. And if they can't pick up more than 15 or 18, it is a terrible, terrible night. Red wave, more like a red whimper. At any rate, we're going to break it down for you for the rest of the day, because here's something else that happened. In Michigan, for example, Proposal 3, a barbaric proposal that will allow abortion through the third trimester to the moment of birth. It's a barbaric proposal. Will allow sterilization, will allow minors to get procedures without parental consent. It's all gone. Worse than that, Michigan also voted out voter ID. I'm sorry, but this is how dumb these people are sometimes. You got rid of voter ID. Secure elections don't matter. Big win for the Democrats. Who wants, election integrity? Oh, we're going to make it easier to vote. Sure. Anybody can vote. Just get in line. Come through a few times. But I come back to this tough night for Donald Trump. And we're going to take time to digest this. You're not going to want to hear it. Some of you are not going to want to hear it because his hand-selected candidates lost all over the country. The majority of them lost, and lost badly. Whether it's Blake Masters, Don Bolduc in New Hampshire, Kerry Lake in Arizona, all over the country. And in the governor's races, Tudor Dixon looks like she'll lose by about 8 points. 8 points in Michigan. Looked pretty good last night. She did not concede, but Governor Gretchen Whitmer was reelected in Michigan by what looks like to be a substantial margin. And this comes at a time when there was massive voter turnout. This is something the Democrats have mastered, by the way. When Gretchen Whitmer was first elected in 2018, there was a marijuana proposition on the ballot, brought out the Democrats in big numbers. This time, an abortion proposition on the ballot brings out the Democrats in big numbers. And as a result, the Democrats have a very good night. I have a strange thing to tell you about Michigan in a moment. I will get to that, about how it looks like it might break down. We'll take a closer look at that in a moment. As I go through this after-action report. And the after-action report is, if Republicans can't win in this environment, they need new leadership. That's what I'm saying. Ron DeSantis won in a landslide in Florida. I mean, it wasn't even close. Rubio won by huge numbers. Not even close. We're going to take a break here. Good to have you here. Don't shoot me. I'm just the messenger. All right, don't shoot me. I'm just the messenger. It's the Steve Gruber Show. Send me a note, stevegruber.com. Tell me what you think happened. We'll be back in just a moment.